According to Mike and Tony, is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. What's up, my brother?
What's up, dude?
Episode 122. I just watched you do something there is no way on earth I would be able to do. I was thoroughly impressed, though I know you were disappointed.
Yeah.
I just watched you on your Instagram live, Pierce. How many tacos did you end up eating? Like
15.
15?
Yeah.
Holy shit, bro. That's so crazy.
Tacos. That's all I got.
Dang. Man, I could see the disappointment in your eye. I was laughing because I was talking to Myra the whole time. There's something about, there's so many things I love about you, Pierce. And one of them is you're predictable when it comes to, like, you don't quit. I mean, you could say that you quit there, but I think I'm so thankful you stopped. I wasn't joking. I put in the comments, I was like, can I throw in the towel and save you from yourself? Because I know you. And I'm like, he's going to fucking keep going. He's going to end up throwing up or something terrible is going to happen.
Oh, dude.
That was unbelievable. And then I texted you after. I'm like, bro, are you sure you're going to be able to do that? I was legit worried about you. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. So it was, yeah. It all came to, like I was saying, like on the post that one of the guys I work with at the gym, June, was saying that, you know, him and his brother got 24 Doritos Locos Tacos. And I was like, oh, nice, dude. I was like, those are so good. And I was like, did you guys eat them all? He's like, no. I was like, wait, between the two of you, you didn't eat all 24 tacos? And he's like, no. I was like, dude, I can eat all 24 tacos. And so that's why I was saying when shit talking goes wrong. Because then like another guy was there, Yu Chang, and Yu Chang was like, he's like, you can't eat 24 tacos, dude. And I was like, yeah, I could eat 24 tacos, bro. I was like, this little thin little Taco Bell tacos. I was like, bro, come on. I got this. I can do it. And they were like, okay, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'll buy all your tacos. So I was talking all this shit and just think, you know, all right, you know, I bought the tacos. I was like, get that money ready. you pay me them tacos. And then you get on there and yeah.
You're still recovering.
It's like a little burp there.
Okay, so I legit thought you were going to do it. I think a lot of people did. I saw the percentage of people who voted on Instagram. 85% of people thought you were going to pull it off. I really thought you were too. And I, especially like when you started, like when you down like the first 5, I was like, oh, this motherfucker's about to do this.
So yeah, me too.
Yeah. And then what was it? I'd say about 10. It seemed like when you hit 10, you hit a wall, bro, because then you were like, oh, starting to feel it. And then the next 2 tacos took you like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, he's in trouble.
I know, because the first 2 tacos took me a minute to eat. And I was like, nice, dude, a minute to eat these 2 tacos? Because I doubled them up and I was like, ate it. And then it was done in a minute, man. And one of the other guys we work with, Nick, was like, dude, he's on pace to finish it in 12 minutes. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, I can do this. But like legit, when I was like looking at the tacos when I brought them home and I saw the 2 party packs and everything, I was like, oh my God, dude, that is so many tacos. I was like, I don't think I can. I was like, no, I can do it. I can do this. These are little tacos. These are tiny tacos, dude. And when I ate those first 2, that's when I like got all into it. I was like, oh, dude, 2 tacos in a minute. Come on, man. I got this.
Damn. No. And I was, it was surprising how when you hit that wall, you fucking hit it, dude.
Yeah.
Like I could see it in your eyes. I was like, oh God, oh no. But that's what I say. I know about you that you're not going to quit. I think most people would have quit way before you did. There's no way I would have made it to 15, bro. I probably would have tapped out at like 6 or 7.
Tira's like, she was like, how many more do you think you could have ate? I was like, maybe 1 or 2 more if I like forced it. I was like, but then I would have been like crazy miserable.
Yeah. There wouldn't have been a podcast if you did that. I was terrified in the beginning though, when you guys you were calculating like on a generic weight for the tacos. You said 11 pounds, and I was like, just stop now, bro. Bail on this. Don't eat 11 pounds of food. That's not.
Then I was like, no way. Those were 11 pounds. I held that, but yeah, it was like 3 pounds worth of tacos. I was like, dang, dude.
Oh man.
But then I was telling Tira, I was like, dang. I was like, remember in Hawaii, and I ate that 5 pound burger. all of it and everything like that? She was like, yeah, you were also, she's like, you were also 24 years old. I was like, damn.
Yeah, 24-year-old. I know, dude. Same with me in high school, bro. I could eat so much damn food. Weird how you get older, you can't eat as much. There is something about that.
Yeah.
Not just the weight gain, but literally something physical is going on there because you guys were cracking me up with all your talk about like surgeries. You were talking about just converting part of your intestine into a larger stomach.
Yeah.
So you could come back even stronger.
I'm going to eat these damn tacos one way or another.
Like Conor McGregor talking right now, talking about, oh, this is just part of the evolution. You know, I'm better. This is part. I had to take this L tonight.
Well, so it's funny because like afterwards we were messaging, me and June and Yu Chang, the two guys, right? And they were like, man, I bet you we can beat Mike though. And it was like, he's like, yeah. He's like, June, you can eat 6 tacos. It was like, June was like, I can eat 6 tacos and you could eat 10.
Dude, I didn't really realize that. I wonder if Jaden, because Jaden might eat his words too. I don't know if you saw, I did throw a comment in there because I told Jaden and he was like, bro, no problem. I could do it. And that kid can eat, dude. But again, he's got the youth on his side.
Yeah.
But I don't know. After watching you, I have my doubts that I don't know who can eat 24 damn tacos.
Dude, so like I was pumping up to it, and like the other like 2 nights in a row, we were watching these YouTube videos, and this like little Asian lady, dude, she ate 60 in an hour.
Dude, the people who win those competitions, you don't see it coming. They're like these little people, and you're
like, dude.
What the hell? And I heard you talking about like people were stretching their stomachs out with lettuce the night before.
So yeah, it's like that one show that used to be on MTV, like Real Life. I'm like, I'm a this and that. You know how they used to do that stuff, like True Life, and it was I'm a competitive eater, and that's what they used to do. Like the competitive eaters used to eat iceberg lettuce, like heads of lettuce, and like just eat that, like eat the whole head of lettuce because there's no calories basically to it, right?
Right.
And it stretches out your stomach.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. I could see you still struggling over there. Holy moly.
I was like, still like a little burp coming some here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. If you had done the other 2, I think this would have been over. There would be no tonight. You're like, damn, Pierce took himself out of the picture today.
Yeah. And then Tira was like, why don't you stand up? Did you see her when she was like, just stand up? Maybe that works. And I stood up, I was like, oh no. No, this doesn't help. Like this doesn't help. I'm using my energy that I should be sitting down to eat these tacos and standing up.
Wasting precious energy. We were all watching you, man. We were all on your side. We all wanted. I was the first one to bail, though. You know me, dude. I don't fuck around. Like I have no problem with my ego. I will fucking immediately go, nope, this ain't gonna work. I'm gonna be. I was just worried about you. I was like, oh no. Like I could tell he's gonna be in physical pain from this. Yeah. Oh man, impressive.
I was joking around too. Me and Tira, did you hear that? That I'll be also doing an Instagram live later from the toilet.
Yeah. And then my Instagram live account is no longer there. Totally getting kicked off. I mean, it's a personal question, I guess, but how are you doing? You okay? Did you have to relieve yourself a little there already?
I mean, like it takes hours for it to digest.
I like the way you put it though. You've got a poop cue or whatever.
A poop cue.
Like, we all got a poop cue if you think about it.
I was like, yeah, I mean, what's working on right now, it's pushing out the old stuff in there. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, it's crazy. You know, the other thing I thought about was, do you think it would be different if it was regular tacos? Because those are the ones that are like Doritos, right? Like I remember things were all orange afterward and stuff.
Yeah. Well, as I was joking around too, as Tira was saying, don't talk any more shit, because that's what I was joking around too. I was like, if these are 24 regular tacos, I would have been able to eat them shits. And she goes, this is where your shit talking got you. Remember? I was like, yeah.
Back down to earth. Yeah, and I was surprised to see you drinking the soda too, because I don't know a lot about it. I haven't seen as much as you have on those food competition things, but like it seems like they always drink water. Like those hot dog competitions, they like wash it down with water. And I noticed you switched to water partway.
Yeah, because that's what June was saying too. He's like, maybe you should switch to water. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, maybe I should change to water. I was like, Tira.
Yeah. So because that carbonation will get you.
Well, then Tira goes, well, I didn't drink much of the soda, which was good, but Tira was like, she goes, when I watch the competition, she goes, usually they dip the hot dog in the water, and then they eat it. I'm like, I'm not dipping a taco inside the
Ugh,
water.
all the floaties and everything, and then everybody be saying you're cheating because there's meat in the water, and then you have to drink it. Oh,
Blend up the. I should have just taken it to like my food ninja and just put 24 tacos in there and like drank it.
that's what Jaden was saying. He said, "Crunch it into a ball. You got this." He was like at the end when you were just done, and he was like, "You can still do this, bro."
How hilarious would that be? I just grabbed the other 9 tacos and just like, rah, rah, rah.
And then still did the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm still here, bro.
I'm still here.
With a bucket next to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Pierce. Yeah, no more shit talking. Don't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself. It's so funny. You can lift like 1,000 pounds and you're fine, but you fuck yourself up eating tacos.
Well, as I was doing too before, I was like, I'm gonna work up this appetite, dude. So I was at the gym for like a couple hours, and I went hard at the gym because I was like, I'm gonna work out. I was like, I'm gonna build this hunger, dude. And so that way I just get ready to go. And Nick was, one of the guys that was there. He's like, did you take a pre-workout? I was like, yeah, I did. He goes, oh no, caffeine's gonna fuck you up. I was like, oh no. I was like, the pre-work that I have is non-stim, so there's no caffeine in it. And he's like, oh, okay.
Okay. So what's in it? What kind of stuff is in that? Is it like vitamin B and stuff like that, or like what? What actually get you juiced up? I wonder.
I don't know. Maybe meth.
Yeah. Man, well, sometimes there's weird shit in some of that stuff because they all make it in, factories and things like that. And so sometimes like they, UFC guys have tested positive before, taking some supplement that they don't think has anything in it, but it was made in, in China or something in some factory where it got like, you know what I mean? It got something else in it. And then they pissed hot for UFC. Or that's all made up and they're all just making up excuses.
Yeah. Well, did you see I met that UFC, that ex-UFC fighter?
Yeah, that's hella cool.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
So funny though, because you looked enormous next to him. He looked like
he's small, dude. He's a flyweight.
Yeah, those guys are the guys that would get you, right?
Oh yeah,
drunk, a big dude like me or you's in the bar, getting drunk, talking shit, and then get your ass whipped by some 5'5" dude.
Well, that's what we always said. Remember, don't ever fuck with people that have cauliflower ear, dude.
Never. Oh yeah, yeah. That's always a sheer sign. Like,
don't fuck with people with cauliflower ear. That's just don't do it.
Always a bad idea.
But yeah, it was cool because when he first came in, I like saw his top half of his face, and I was like, huh. And I saw he had like cauliflower ear. I was like, I've seen this dude before somewhere.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
And then I didn't see I didn't see his name when he was checking in. And then the next time I saw him, he checked in. I was like, Dustin Ortiz. I was like, oh my God. I was like, dude. I was like, you did UFC? And he was like, yeah, man. I was like, oh shit, dude. And I was like, and then I looked him up, on Google and everything like that. He has the fastest knockout in flyweight history, 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah, dude.
How many fights does he have under his belt? Do you remember?
He has a quite a bit, like 20 something.
Oh, okay.
So, but he was telling me that he's trying to get back into UFC, and he said, but in order to get that, you got to prove yourself a couple fights in another, arena, and then they talk to you about bringing you up on a contract.
Yeah, there's lots of little organizations and stuff like that these guys can build their records in, huh?
Yeah. She's actually training right now with is it Hagen out here? What's his name? He just won.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's like training at an Easton gym.
Okay. Looks like he is a wrestler is how he started off in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. He's legit, bro. You're legit when you got a wiki page, right?
Right?
Ultimate Fight Championship. Yeah, okay. So he wins, even though he's a wrestler, it looks like he wins more by knockout. He's got 8 knockouts, 4 submissions, and 7 decisions. He's only lost 8 times. He's won 19. So he's got a pretty good record. He looks like he's fought a lot of fights, dude. Damn. At 32 years old to have that many fights under your belt. He's got 27 fights. Holy shit.
And that's who he said he was training. He's training with that Corey Sandhagen.
Okay.
And he just won out in Abu Dhabi on like a couple weeks ago, I want to say.
Okay.
So knocked him out with the spinning wheel kick.
Damn.
So, but yeah, he's training with him, and he's like, yeah, man, it's real nice to get back into it. And so he comes up to the gym sometimes, and he comes to another gym out here, and then trains at that Easton gym too.
Yeah, boy, he's been on some big cards, bro.
Yeah,
Cejudo
so
versus Dillashaw.
I know, man.
Alvarez versus Poirier too. Yeah, go ahead.
I even tempted to ask him if he
Bro,
wants to do
do
the
it.
podcast.
Do it.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy now. It's so easy to get people because we could just do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
And by the way, this may be shop talk for after the show a little bit, but we can definitely do this even when we go back in person. We'll just do a Zoom every single time. And then that way we can get a lot more guests because a lot of people don't necessarily want to travel or have to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's easy to get people because we would just do it like this, shut everything off, and I can run the audio in a way so that we would just hear everything through our headphones like normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, talk to him, bro. That would be cool. He'd be the second UFC fighter we had on the show. I'd be all about it.
Second UFC fighter, third, wrestler / fighter person, because we had that Andrew Wolf.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. Was he training for MMA, Wolf? I don't remember.
He did some MMA stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, remember how he's saying he got that knocked out and he was in the fighting mode and didn't know if he got knocked out or not.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know, bro. That's so crazy the damage those dudes take.
Yeah.
Again, you got a little dude, right? Another little dude because Wolf's pretty small too.
Yeah.
But yeah, just don't play around. Did he have cauliflower ear? I don't know. I always want to check and just make sure.
I think he did. Yeah. I think he had a little bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. We talked about the Conor fight last time. Did you hear what Conor was saying? Conor is basically saying that he's taking it in stride. He feels that it was what he needed right now. It's going to wake him up and
humble him.
Yeah, the new humble Conor. I like it.
Yeah,
I like.
So do I, dude. He is afterwards, shaking hands. Even like I was saying, the weigh-ins. He was shaking hands at the weigh-in and everything like that. He was like, "All right, let's do this," and he shook hands, and then he got real serious.
Yeah. It was super friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some picture on Instagram, which was kind of crazy. And it was him with Chuck Liddell when, I don't know what year it was, but it was years ago. And Conor was so young and Liddell was in his heyday. And then there's a second picture right next to it. And it's Conor standing there when he gained all that weight. And then he's Liddell's out in the crowd, super old looking at him. He was damn, that's so crazy. That's so crazy how times change. And but I'm not surprised that's how Conor's taking it. I think that's pretty cool, man. That's what I love about that dude. He's going to look at this as a positive thing. And
yeah,
we shall see.
Man, dude, I was on the Instagram on their UFC page. They do a lot of the old school stuff, and so one of them was Chuck Liddell when he beat what's his name to regain the title. It was the third fight between the two of them. Damn it, what's his name?
You're not talking about Ortiz, right?
No, not Ortiz.
Yeah, pull it up and take a look. Yeah, man. Sorry, my brain.
Randy Couture.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Those man. Back in the day too. We talked about it before, Pride and all that shit. If you go back far enough in MMA, that stuff was so wild. You got those fights, in Japan and stuff, where they'd have these massive ass dudes fighting little ass dudes. Just to see what would happen,
Yeah, dude.
Getting eyes on it or whatever. That sport is so evolved and it's become so much more sophisticated too. And what's really crazy is the last 10 to 15, maybe even 20 years is really, it just completely has morphed.
Yeah.
And everybody's got to be well-rounded. There's very few people that can get away with being narrow now. Which you could make that argument for, what's his name? The guy who's going to fight Jake Paul. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. We were just talking about him last week. Ben Askren. Yes,
yeah.
Thank you. He's been super narrow, right?
Yeah,
and he's had a lot of success, but then of course he took a flying knee from Masvidal. Makes you realize, you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, dude.
Stuff like that's crazy.
He tried to go for that takedown right away and got a knee to the face, dude.
There's no doubt these guys are super skilled, right? And they practice, and they got so many tricks up their sleeve. But even that being said, how much of it do you think really comes down to chance too? Stuff like that. I think about cases like that where Masvidal, that flying knee right in the first few seconds, ends the fight immediately. Askren was asleep, dude.
Yeah.
Or I also think about McGregor Aldo. Remember that fight?
Yeah.
Where McGregor knocked him out. And I don't know how. It definitely wasn't the fastest, but it was one of the fastest knockouts.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just wonder. There's that aspect of fighting, right? Whether it's real life or in a ring, whether you're skilled or not skilled, there's always just that chance of just catching a wild punch or just catching something. The human brain is so easy to take out of consciousness, right?
Well,
Like,
what is it? Mike Tyson's quote: "Everyone has a plan."
so get punched in the face.
Yeah, they get punched in the face.
Oh, it's so true though, dude. It's so true. But that is the thing about human beings. We got this big ass head, right, on this little neck. No matter how buff you are, no matter how strong you are, all it takes is just shifting that angle just a little bit, and you separate your brain from your spinal cord, even just slightly, or even just bump it, or tweak it or something.
God, dude, you ever seen those Russian like slap things that they
Oh
do?
my God, yeah.
Dude, I saw one the other day, and this dude had like little to no reaction to this slap. And his neck, Tony, like he didn't have a neck. It was like head and like shoulders, just like head on traps, and that's all it was. He was like this, and he got like slapped, and
Like
it was
that
like
dude from
pow.
He-Man. What was
And he
that
just sat there, and then it was his turn, and it was like he was all bam, and dude, this guy was like, ooh, like fell asleep.
That's not, I don't know if that's the same one I've seen. Maybe a few of us have seen it a few times and we get lost on those things. Was it the guy who got knocked out? Was he like, or almost knocked out? Was he the guy that was like, had all the crazy shit? He had like the eye tattoo thing where his eyes were all black.
No, this guy had a beard on. He's like a bigger guy with a beard.
No,
and the guy that got slapped was just like a bald, like white guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen that one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
To me, that's the most brutal one I've ever seen.
Yep. And in that too, like I've seen some of those things. Like do they not have weight classes either? Because clearly that little guy should have been slapping that other dude, right?
Right. Yeah, there's no way those guys should have been going against each other.
I mean, that'd be like me going against Jaden. Like, get ready, son.
Yeah, get ready. Yeah, you better be solid. There's got that in that sport. I guess you call that a sport, huh? I suppose it's a sport to stand there and slap each other in the face. I mean, because they got rules and everything, right? The way they and stuff. Plus, and then I've always wondered, they put that chalk on their hands. Is that so that they make sure that you hit them in the right place? That's what I always wondered. I thought the chalk was so that like afterward, because there's probably certain places you can't hit them. Because if you did like a karate chop to the neck, you could probably knock somebody out.
I want to think that it's like for grip though, Dollar. Because if you got somebody who has like a greasy ass face and you like just slap them, it's like, it's like
yeah, people are just putting oil all over their face. Oh man, I'm gonna look that up for next week. We're gonna have some of the rules from those slap contests. That shit had to have originated in Russia, right?
Right.
I feel like it's just the manliest place on earth.
I don't know what, dude. So when I used to bounce, I remember one time outside of the club, it was hilarious. Afterwards, we got everybody out, and there was these, 3 guys and these buddies, right? And they're all in front of the club, and he's like, "Bro, slap me, dude."
Oh no!
And he sat there. It's like, "Come on!" And his buddy was like, "Okay, man." And so he went over there and he went to go slap him, and it just grazed his face like this, like this, like that. And he goes, "Come on." Out of nowhere, his homie just comes behind him, behind the other dude that was slapping, and goes,
and slap the dude who took the original slap, or the guy who was originally slapping.
No, it took the guy who took the original slap, because he was like, he got hit, and it was like, "Come on, man!" Bam! And then he got slapped by his buddy, and it was Tony. It was like cup on, just like slap. And he went to the ground, and everyone was like, "Damn!"
Oh my God! He didn't even get his words out. That's those instant karma moments. If it had been on video, it would have gone viral.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was just like, damn. He's like, "Oh, come on, bam!" Just like, damn.
He didn't even get to finish talking shit. Oh my God! There's got to be a huge difference, right? If you catch somebody with a slap like this part of your hand, like what you think of as a traditional slap, but if you catch them right there with this part, like the palm of your hand, and just
follow through.
Oh, for sure, you could knock somebody to hell. It's happened millions of times, I'm sure. Damn, that's a dumb thing about being dudes, though. You see that so much from guys,
Yeah.
Come on, man, just give it. And there's so many times because of the internet, you see all this shit. There's a million videos out there.
Yep.
Guys doing exactly what you said, talking shit. Come on, man, go ahead, give me what you blam. He's asleep. Like, you know what I mean? The fucking dumbass. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh man. Yeah, that manly competition testosterone shit will get. It's probably
talking shit. Tacos.
Yeah, but you're wise enough to pick something like tacos. You're not out there slap fighting with people. There's for sure guys out there doing that. There's also dudes looking for fights all the time too. You got to look out for that.
Oh yes.
You know, when we were kids, like, I mean, I never liked to fight. I got in some fights growing up, but like now I would be terrified to get in a fight. That's what I tell Jaden. I'm like, don't fight with anybody, bro. Because it doesn't even matter if you whip their ass. That's the thing that happens now is people just come back with guns, or everybody's got guns and shit.
Or the crew.
Or the whole crew, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know all about that. I've been jumped a couple times in my life, dude. It's not fun. That shit's wild. But yeah, no, it's not the same as it used to be. I feel like when we were kids, when I got jumped, it was different. It was like a bunch of thugs just fucking with a kid.
Yeah.
But now I feel like people can't take losses, right? I think we talked about this before. Like everybody's soft. We got all these awards for everybody for, participation awards.
Yeah, dude.
Shit. But back in the day when you got your ass kicked, it was like everybody was okay afterward. Even the dude got his ass kicked. His pride was hurt, right?
Yeah.
Might take a little time to recover, but you'll be all right, and you kind of know where you stand. And, half the time you might end up friends with the dude that whipped your ass, but not anymore. Not anymore. People they can't take a loss. They can't just go, oh, that sucks. I got my ass kicked. They're like, no, I'm going to get you, mofo. Like, I'm going to come back, get my crew.
Twofold. I'm going to come back twofold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people can't accept the loss anymore. And, do you ever feel, Pierce, like getting old, you're like losing touch a little bit? Like, I'm really glad that I work with junior high kids, but I do, like, as times change, like I realize like, oh man, I'm going to end up being that old dude that that you think he's an asshole because he grew up in a different time, like because I'm in the master's program at UCD. I'm working on a degree in curriculum and instruction with emphasis in critical pedagogy. That critical part is what everybody's talking about now, right? It's about like pronouns and all this stuff. And I was noticing, I was like looking at all my classmates and my teachers and everybody, like when you log in, I'm literally like the only dude in my class that doesn't have the thing at the end of his name. It says he, his, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he, him, his. Do you have that at your job, by the way? Do you guys?
Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
And you have to do it, huh? Everybody does.
Not have to do it, but like whenever we do like conferences and stuff like that, they always have like the, our name tags, and it always has the pronoun, he, his, him, There's only been one time where I saw the they.
Okay, see, that's my point with it. Now, I'm going to take some shit for this. I know I am. God, I have to be honest, though. You got to be honest in life. You can't walk around pretending. But, like, I have no problem with it. I got whatever gender you feel you are, I fully respect that. I will treat you as such. You have a name change. You want to go by a different name. No problem. I love everybody. And I think everything is natural, right? Like if you look at nature, this shit's natural. Everything from homosexuality for like the lines between, what's the term? Because there's male and female. What's that? Non-binary, right?
Yeah.
Like that exists in nature. That shit's all legit. And I think it's real. But here's the other thing that's totally legit and totally real. It is a tiny portion of the population. That's my whole thing on it. And I'm like, everybody has to walk around doing this all the time, and you always have to clarify. But when I look at my class, there's literally nobody. All the ones with guy names that look like dudes, it says he, him. All the ones as chicks, right? And so I just don't understand why we're doing all this. Why not just, if you want to go by something different, just let me know. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to get shit, especially being in the program I'm in, and I'm a teacher and all this stuff, but I'm just being honest. Like maybe I'm just the old guy losing touch, but I feel like it's so crazy because you so rarely see anything other than what you would expect.
Yeah.
Based on all stuff.
I remember we had one that was like non-binary at the club, at the gym, and chose on which day he's going to go in the locker room. I'm going to go in the ladies' locker room today. I'm going to go in the men's locker room today. You're like, no, doesn't work like that.
How do you deal with that? And, and if you say something like, hey, you can't do that, man. You can't be going there because there's also going to be fools just abusing it. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm fully a regular ass dude, but today I'm female. I'm gonna
Yes.
go change in the women's locker room.
My big ass just walking in there today. I feel like a lady.
Yeah. And this is not to talk shit or to diminish or to
Yeah.
mean anybody who is legitimately like non-binary, or you feel you were born in a different gender than you actually feel like you are. Like that shit's all legit to me. I just don't know why, like the time Bruce Leroy, I don't know if he's ever shared it on the podcast, but he talked about the time like at the supermarket where he called somebody Mr. or maybe he called him Miss and they were a Mr. or he called him Mr. and they were Miss or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But if I remember right, the person had a beard and I think he said Mr. and then they just went off on him. Like, see, that's the part. I'm cool with I love everybody. I think we're all good. But the
Yeah.
instant that you start coming at me with anger because I called you sir and you had a beard
Because you look like a dude.
and you like a dude, right? You can't say that anymore. Like you
Sorry.
can't judge them based on what they look like, Pierce. But at the same time, I look at all these people with all the pronouns after them, like 99.9% of the time, I would have guessed it correctly. So it's like for this like 0.1% of the time, everybody has to add all these things. And I in some ways, I feel like I know I would be perceived as a douche by sharing my honest opinion about it, but I'm holding out, bro. I'm not adding it to the end of my stuff. Like, just take a guess. You're probably right.
Yeah. Or maybe Dollar, you're just taking it a step further. Whatever you think I am.
Yeah.
There you go, Dollar.
And I would be cool with that.
Yeah, cool whatever you think I am.
Yeah, maybe listeners, if you got an opinion on this, I'd love to hear it. I love to hear where people are at, because sometimes I wonder if it's just this loud minority of people that are really, really shifting the direction of society. And I get where it's coming from, right? Because the pendulum always swings, right?
Yeah.
And in 1970, it sucked ass to be a gay dude. Like it was not a cool thing to be gay.
Literally.
Right.
Literally sucked ass.
Oh, Mike, they're going to be calling for us to be canceled, my friend. Yeah, I have a problem with cancel culture. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And I'm as liberal as they come, dude. I'm as open-minded as they come. At least I like to think. But I think it gets to a point where it just gets ridiculous, man. And I don't understand why people are getting mad. Like Bruce Lee were getting chewed out by a person for saying stuff like that. I just feel like
I was watching you ever watch Ricky Gervais?
Oh yeah, I love
his stand-up, and the one he did where he was talking about being politically correct and all, like when he was talking about the Emmys and everything like that, and how he was saying like, oh, being gay is going to send you to hell, and when you go to hell, or being atheist is going to send you to hell, and when you get to hell, the devil's going to ass fuck you and rape you and da 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 da. And he was like, he's talking about all these different things, and he goes, and I'm going to laugh when you're down in hell and the devil is going to be, raping you in the ass. And he's like, then I thought about it. He's like, well, if you're going to be laughing in hell, then that means you're there with me. He's like, he goes, and you're just sitting there and probably your turn's next.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then the other part that cracked me up too. And he was like, if gay wasn't a real thing, he goes, then why the fuck did God put the man's G-spot in his asshole?
It's a valid point. It's a valid point. Hard to argue. Yeah, I just think the pendulum swings so far, because I know, like, my family, most of my family, and now I got the 23andMe to back that shit up. My family is so fucking white, it's unbelievable. And so much of my family came from like Oklahoma and the South, and they all migrated to Fresno years ago. And that was a big popular thing that happened. There's a lot of people, because I could never figure out. I was like, Fresno's in the middle of California, yet there's so much conservatism. There's like tons of different ethnicities and stuff there, but it's very, very conservative where I grew up, which is probably why it produced me the way I am. But I grew up in a family like that where I was always the black sheep. I was always liberal, and I just didn't buy into any of that shit. But like, I can only imagine what it would have been like for those guys, like in high school, like if they had a friend who was gay or something like that, or somebody came out gay in like 1976 or something like that, oh my God, it was brutal. It was brutal. And so I understand the pushback, but you know what the funny thing is? I do have a couple of friends who are, I don't know if I shouldn't say that they would classify themselves as non-binary, but the gender thing is sort of fluid there. They're not really, they don't come down, as you one of the set categories or whatever. But when I talk to them, dude, they laugh about all this. They think it's ridiculous too. You know what I mean? Same with my gay friends. Like the people who are talking shit, it's almost like the Black Lives Matter, and it's like these white chicks are the most angry ones. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I mean, I'm
The Karens.
down. I'm down. I've got a Black Lives Matter shirt, like, for sure. But it's weird how there's all these people that it just feels like they're like that. It's almost like that term white knight. You know what I mean? You ever hear that? Or white savior, these people that just jump in and they feel like, you know, they've actually got the mentality all kind of backwards, because their idea is that we can save you, or we have something to help you get, you know, your situation. But then when you talk to, you know, the minority people, or you talk to, that sounded so fucking bad. When you talk to the colored folk, oh, take it out of context. I don't give a shit. I really don't. But when you talk to like the people who these other people are standing up for, the people who they're defending don't give a fuck. They don't necessarily want everyone walking around clarifying, you know, what their gender is and all this stuff. So I better stop before I get us canceled, Pierce. I feel like this is it's a pet peeve of mine now. It's become a problem, and it's because I'm so deep in it with my master's program. It's all around me. And I will also say there is a lot to it that is completely legit. There's a lot about the thinking in our society, and the fact that power has been in certain hands for so long, and that our language really limits how we think about people, and it puts certain people in higher positions of power. There's no doubt about any of that.
Yeah.
But don't get pissed at me if you
no, and then what this all spawned off of was you were saying, you know, you're getting older. You know, you said you feel when you feel old, and so again, talking shit, you know, with the tacos, one of those, you know, I keep on saying kids because I'm fucking old. Yeah. So one of the kids at the gym, you know, his name's Yu Chang. We were talking about different things, and he looked at me, he goes, "You got an Instagram?"
Oh,
and I was like,
he told me that.
Yeah, dude, I have an Instagram. And he was like, I was like, why wouldn't I have an Instagram? And he dead ass looked at me and goes, because you're old. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, damn it.
It's true though, Pierce. We are getting old. It's kind of crazy. I got a birthday this coming week, and
yep.
You just had a birthday. Like, I don't know how the time flew by so fast, but that's the one thing that's always terrified me. That's why I'm glad I'm sticking with, you know, working with middle school, being around young people all the time, is because that is a fear of mine, because I've seen it happen to like people in my family, you know, like as they get older and they're pretty soon like, oh, yo, you can't say that. You can't say that anymore, you know? And I'm like, oh my God, is that me? Is that happening to me? Because you don't realize it. And then all of a sudden you're the asshole, and you're like, oh shit, I'm the crotchety old asshole. And I'm just trying to be cool.
But Tony, at some point in time, you're going to get so old, you're not going to care. So
that's true too.
You're not old yet, because you still care.
Still care. Still give a shit. So I'm not that old. Yeah, that's true too. I've seen that happen with, my grandparents and stuff.
Oh yeah, likewise. I told you those stories before, you know, being at the dinner table, and all of a sudden, you know, it's like, oh, you should have saw my bruise last week. It looked like one of them coloreds. You're like, what?
Oh no.
And it's, you know, the worst part is when you look around the table and nobody else like acknowledges it. Everyone's like,
and you're like, oh my God.
Did anybody hear that? Like, nobody got that?
For sure. Oh yeah. And I remember growing up with my uncles and stuff, and they would just make jokes that you're like, and they're laughing. And I just remember being like, whoa. And I was a little kid, dude. And as a little kid, I was like, that's insane. That's like hate speech. What do you like? And exactly, that's the weirdest part. You look around at your family and everybody's just carrying on normal business. Oh yeah. Yeah, it does kind of look like that, doesn't it? Oh my God. That's unbelievable. But yeah, we are getting old, Pierce. We're getting old. I'm curious to see if we're gonna get any emails over this.
Well, it's funny because today I had a physical, so I got a tetanus shot, and I got, you know, my blood drawn and all that stuff. And when they were looking, the doctor was like looking at my stuff, and he was like looked at my stuff from last year and the year before. He goes, "Oh my God!" He was like, "Are you on cholesterol medicine?" And I was like, what? And he goes, "I'm looking at your numbers from last year to the prior year." He goes, "Wow." He goes, "Everything just dropped off and everything." And I like thought to myself, I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, no, last January, I was vegan for the entire month. I was like, because of the game changers. And remember, and I purposely took my physical on February 1st to show, to see what the effects was on my body. And yeah, it was overall good. All my bad cholesterol was down by like 100 points, dude.
Oh
Like
wow.
ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's what he said. He looked at me, he goes, wow. He's like, just from being vegan, that's it. I was like, yeah. I was like, but I monitored my diet that whole time. I was like, I watched my macros, I counted everything. I was like, I made sure I had the right proteins and carbs and fats and this and that. I was like, trust me. I was like, that shit was hard.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Again, I was thinking about you because I saw that right after I watched your live stream tonight. I kind of went down a Instagram hole, but I was on your Instagram.
Yeah.
And so I saw the posts and stuff I remember from last year when you were doing that and thinking about it. And I was like, I think about how weak ass I am sometimes. Like if I had tried to do that, I don't think I could have stuck with it, dude. Like that must have been tremendously hard, but it's super indicative of how important your diet is. The fact that you did that. So are you okay now though? Do you need to go on plant-based again or
No.
okay.
Well, no, I mean, it was back to what the numbers were before, and they weren't ridiculous or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, they're normal for the age and everything like that. But now that you're saying that, that's cracking me up because like someone's going to look at my Instagram now and see all the plant-based stuff and this and that. And all of a sudden 24 taco challenge. Like, like this guy is really messed up. Wow.
How long did you did that for a month, right?
Yeah. Did it for a month, dude. 31 days. Cause I did it for January.
What kind of foods did you eat during that period?
Like I said, vegan, 100% vegan, man, all plant-based stuff.
I wonder,
obviously
my dad's famous for walking around saying that because of you, that Oreos are vegan.
Yeah, they are.
I know he loves vegan. He's like, I could go vegan for sure.
I can go vegan. I just eat Oreos all the time.
Have you ever overeaten Oreos? That shit will make you so sick. You cannot overeat Oreos. I don't know.
What is it? The icing or what?
I don't know. No, somehow I think it's the cookie stuff. It's that black stuff. Like my dad when he eats a lot, and then like the corner of his mouth, it's like a little black stuff in it. You're like, whatever, that can't be good going in your body. It looks insane. Yeah, no, anyway, go ahead though. So what kind of stuff were you eating? Obviously all vegan, but like what are the options? Because I've thought about like trying vegan stuff before, but I don't really know what I'm doing. And I feel like I wouldn't be able to keep myself healthy.
A lot of soy stuff, soy, just again, vegetables, oats, rices, carbohydrates, stuff like that. Got a lot of my protein from pea protein, from edamame, my fats, from your avocados, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's possible to do it, but again, I was eating all the time. Like I was eating all, like, I made these like vegan, like bars, these little vegan bars. And, I mean, even with the proteins and stuff, like I went down to plant-based and vegan, I didn't even use any animal, any whey stuff or anything like that. And so, but yeah, no, it was hard, dude. Like, I definitely made my own food. There's actually for my birthday, cause that was my birthday month. Tira took us to, that vegan restaurant. Damn it, what was it called? I forget what it's called, but it was dope. Cause like the food that I had like cauliflower, wings.
Oh yeah.
And so that was the other thing too. We do wing night every Sunday. And so, my wing night started to turn into, I made cauliflower wings and they were bomb. They were pretty good. I got a good crunch to them and, the inside of it, was like the cauliflower meat and I put sauces on them and everything. But yeah, it was something, and I've always thought about it, maybe like once or twice a year, maybe just do that, cycle and be vegan for a month, kind of reset everything. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What is it like for you, especially because you're like, a strength training guy? How was my concern is the protein. Like, I feel like I could do it and I could survive on it, but I feel like I'd be eating way more carbs. Like I would be eating way more oats.
And so that was the thing, dude. That was the hardest part of it was, you're double, you're 1 for 1 essentially. For every gram of protein, you have a gram of carbs because it's all, plant-based stuff. Except for the, even with the protein drinks, dude, it was almost like that, like a 1-to-1 ratio, dude. Sometimes it was 2-to-1, which is really rough. So, but then a lot of it was complex carbs, so, your vegetables and fruits and everything like that, which really aren't, if you eat vegetables, they're not going to have the sugars or stuff like that with them, but easier to digest and everything. Oh, that was the other thing too. Being plant-based and vegetables and fruits and fiber.
Oh, you go to the bathroom
I
a
was in
lot.
the bathroom a lot, dude. And then
Oh,
I made the fatal mistake because, I was like, well, I need to make sure I hit all my macros. I need to make sure I get these proteins. So I bought, the Orgain, plant-based
that's
protein stuff.
exactly what I use.
But I got the probiotic one, right? I fucked up at the very beginning. I was like, you know what? I'll just like, quadruple up on protein drinks. That way I can make sure I hit my protein all the time. So like for 3 days straight, I was doubling up on that Orgain probiotic stuff. And like the third day, my stomach was fucked because it was all the probiotic stuff. I was drinking like, you know, double the amount that you're regularly supposed to drink of that stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, on the third day, like I kid you not, I shit like 11 times
Oh
that
no.
day.
Oh
That
my
day,
God.
my ass was raw. I was like, I don't want to even do this anymore. I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, why am I like this? Why is it like this? And I looked at the stupid, package and it said, with probiotics. I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, all right. So there's got to be some Orgain out there that doesn't have probiotics. And there was. So
Yeah. No, I use it too. I was actually, I think I did do the Orgain with probiotics once. My stomach's really used to probiotics, though. I take at least one probiotic
kombucha,
a day. I drink a kombucha every day.
kakabucha.
Yeah. Dude, that stuff is so good for you too. And there's a lot of benefits from it. But yeah, no, the Orgain, that's the exact protein I use every day pretty much.
It's good for you, but it tastes like shit, dollar. Like
Think so?
kombucha is gross, dude.
Oh,
Like,
kombucha? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is my youngest daughter loves it. She drinks one every day too. She's like super into it. Yeah, no, it is good for you. It doesn't taste like shit to me. You know what? It actually helped me kick soda. And I'll have a soda every now and again. But I don't drink near as much as I did before because it's got that fizz in it, and
Yeah.
I don't drink, so it's almost like a beer sometimes too. So it kind of tastes a little beer like, makes you feel like you're relaxing, like it's super cold on a hot day.
Well, they have the kombucha beers.
Do they just a way higher alcohol or whatever?
Yeah.
Or is it literally a beer?
Yeah, it's a kombucha beer. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Kombucha brew.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the most alcohol I ever get is if I go to like Whole Foods or something to get the black bottle kombuchas. Those are the ones. Yeah, because those are the ones because they made them because they came up with those ones with the lower alcohol content because people were complaining and saying that you should have to be 21 to buy them and they should have all these regulations on them. But it's hilarious. Like to get drunk on something like that would be like you'd have to drink so many of those things. So crazy. It's like trying to get high on CBD oil. It's got like those 0.1% THC in it. You never.
Or like the people that were trying to drink vanilla because it has like a little bit of alcohol content. So there's like kids that were buying like bottles of vanilla and like drinking it. And like, yeah, that's way fucking expensive. Good luck, kid. Trying to drink all that vanilla. Like, you know how expensive like pure vanilla extract is?
Oh yeah.
And there's probably some dumb kid that like drank like the imitation, like not the real stuff.
I drank 6 gallons of this. I barely feel anything, bro. Yeah. No, that reminds me of like those crazy stories we used to talk about back in the day. Like some people who are like severe alcoholics and they'll drink hand sanitizer, or like that one dude we talked about that was mixing milk with gasoline.
I was saying, remember, that's the one I told you about. He was.
Oh yeah, it was you who told me.
Yeah, this is the Indian dude, and he was mixing gas with milk because gas was cheaper, dollar.
Yeah.
Because at that point in time, like gas was like $1 something a gallon. And you can fucking drink, fill up a whole gallon, bro, for like $1 something. Like,
oh God, dude.
Fuck, dude.
Oh,
he was drinking it with milk because it helped, with the breakdown and this and that. And I was like, oh
my God, dude. Can you imagine? I feel bad for somebody in that situation. You're deep in the hole. you're deep in the addiction hole with something like that. And that's the thing, is alcohol is so dangerous. It's so crazy that it's like a totally legal drug that everybody uses. It's, very commonly used recreational everywhere, and it takes motherfuckers' lives. You know what I mean? Like, it really messes people up. It can, you can go down a real bad addiction hole to the point you have stuff like that. Literally people drinking hand sanitizer or trying to mix gasoline with milk because they're so desperate to get that drunk feeling or whatever.
Yeah.
And they got that pill now, right? It's been around for a while. Like, if you want to quit drinking, you just take that pill regularly, and then
and abuse.
yeah, right. And my dad was telling me it has no effect on you other than if you drink alcohol. Other than that, you don't feel, there's no side effects.
You get like itchy and red. So it's like, you have to, you've been drinking if you get all itchy and red and bloated.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a real drug, dude. That shit is it's legit. It's funny how it's legal and everybody's used to it. They tried to make it illegal once upon a time. That shit was like a turd in a punch bowl. It did not work out. People are not going to let you take away their alcohol. But it is crazy the effect it has on people. Not only the addiction, but just there's something really dangerous about just liquid courage. Something dangerous about removing. I feel like I'm the opposite of alcohol, right? I'm like the most cautious dude ever. I think everything through way too many times. And then alcohol is like the opposite. It just makes you like completely not give a shit at all.
Well, the thing that's worse than alcohol that gets like rid of shit is PCP.
Oh, really?
PCP disables the fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
So you're in fight mode all the time.
Oh, wow.
Like all the time you're in fight mode. And I just remember, I've told this story a couple of times to people. Like, I remember when we were in Dare, right? And they're showing like police cam footage of stuff like, like showing people on drugs and, what the effects are and stuff like that. And they showed one where it was like a dude was like on PCP and it's this big old black dude. He was naked. He like comes out the car and they're like, get out of the car, hands behind your head and this and that. And like shot the tasers at him. And he's like, oh, like just yanks him out. And you're just like, oh my God, dude. And then this dude, he just grabs this fucking door of his car that he just came out of and goes, and like ripped it off. And you were just like, yo, if this is supposed to teach you not to do drugs, because I see this as a superhero power. Like,
was he a big, like, buff dude as well?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that with PCP, you don't even have to be like that physically strong, but because of the adrenaline and whatever it is in your body.
Well, like I said, it releases that, and that's that thing with, what they say, the mothers that try to rescue their kids.
Yeah.
And you go into that, fight or flight mode, and it, they're able to like lift cars, they're save babies and stuff like that. So yeah, you don't have to be that fucking big. It's just that our mind limits us. It's that whole mind over matter thing. We just, if you didn't have that mind part, then nothing would matter. Like you could just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And that was like, that movie, what was it? Split. You seen that one movie with Split where the guy had so many like different personalities, and one of the personalities was like a monster. Like he was like a legit monster, and because of the the mind over matter thing, that was such a monster that he didn't have a mind, and so again nothing mattered. So he defied everything because his body was like, I'm gonna do this, like climbing up fucking walls. Just climbing up walls and super strength, just like ripping bars open and doors. And, they kind of played with the whole, if your mind was able to shut that part off, you could do anything.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I was actually just looking that movie up. It's a pretty recent movie. That was 2016 when that came out.
Yeah, and they like did a whole spin-off of it with the movie Unbreakable. And then they did the with Mr. Glass, or whatever, the Glass.
Oh yeah. Was that Samuel L. Jackson? Who was that played that? Yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, and I forget the other guy's name.
Yeah, that's what it was saying. It was the same maker, same movie maker did that one too. No, man, that's crazy. Drugs are such a weird thing, because it was some Joe Rogan episode I was hearing recently. Some guy he had on there was like an expert on that stuff, and he was saying that, I can't remember what it was now, that PCP was basically almost exactly the same as something that you wouldn't guess. I want to say it was what's ecstasy? What's the name for it again?
DMT?
No,
DMA? What? No, MDMA.
MDMA. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I might be wrong in that. Maybe I should look that up. But I feel like he was saying like it was ever so slightly different. And just think about the difference between PCP and ecstasy. Like
The little tiny difference.
yeah, don't mix those pills up, bro.
Someone's like, oh, fuck, I fucked this batch up. We have PCP, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up. PCP chemical structure, and I'm gonna try MDMA and see if there's any
$20 on a quest right now to find the chain that links both PCP and MDMA.
Yeah, distorted perception. Boy, it causes crazy shit. Violent behavior, distorted perceptions of sound. Yeah, crazy. What's crazy to me is people mix that shit with cannabis, it says, and that's pretty common. That's what, remember in Friday? That's exactly what got me locked up in Devo's chicken coop.
The pigeon coop.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was pigeons. Right. Oh God. Yeah, no, that's weird. I couldn't find it that quickly, so I gave up pretty quick because. But it was something like that. I want to say he said ecstasy is just very slightly chemically different. And that blows my mind. Like those little chemical differences, it could be like the slightest difference in chemical structure and you take it and it can kill you versus, or you could feel light and relaxed just depending on chemistry is wild like that, dude.
Yeah.
Like you get down to like how the fundamentals of the makeup of the universe, you start looking at how chemical structures and you just alter them ever so slightly. And it's like a totally different thing.
Yeah.
That's what always blew my mind about physics and chemistry. It was like when you get down to the molecular level, it's all the same shit, right? It's just how it's arranged. You arrange it differently.
Isn't that the same like they say with humans and bananas, right? That there's like just a little bit of DNA separates us humans from bananas.
Oh, right. Yeah, all living things pretty much. Yeah. Really wild,
I was this close to being a banana, dollar.
You were almost a banana. But that's what that's a running joke in my family. I'm sure I don't know if you remember that. I think we told you about that before. My sister, when she I don't know if she went, who cares? It was a long time ago. But she got high one time and was like, and she's not a pothead at all. And that was all she kept saying. She's like, I'm a banana. I feel like I'm a banana. And so to this day, that's like a running joke we're always saying. It's like, you're high when you think you're a fruit. Like literally, you think you're a banana. Yeah. I don't know, man. And I know we've talked about this before. What crazy have you done? It's a wild show, right? I'm gonna get myself in trouble anyway, so we might as well let's talk about drugs, okay? What's the craziest drug you've ever done, Mike? You haven't done a whole lot of crazy shit, have you? I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to.
Just weed and ecstasy, mushrooms.
Yeah, dude, I never did try ecstasy. I did mushrooms. I was always curious about what the effect of ecstasy was. I told you one time I literally had it in my hand. Like, no, that's not true. Somebody was going to get some and she was going into the house. I was sitting, it was a girl I was dating at the time. And I'm sitting in the car and she was literally like, you sure you want me to get some? Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And I stopped her at the last minute. I was like, you know what? Never mind. No, I'm good. I'm just gonna smoke a joint. I'm good. And so I never did because back then, I don't know how much truth there is to it, but everyone said like it could really jack you up. You could die. Oh, that's all legit, huh?
Messes your brains.
Yeah, messes with your brains to the point that maybe sometimes people don't recover from it, or
it kills your brain.
Literally
kills your brain. Yeah, there was like brain scans, and they were showing people on ecstasy that like prolonged users versus a normal brain, and it was like blacked out areas like in the brain, like just parts of the brain just stopped working. Like,
whoa! So you're saying I made the right choice?
Yeah. You choose your own adventure, dollar. You chose right.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy.
I do remember like with shrooms though was like it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was
sure.
had a blast. Every single time we've there's people that said you have a bad trip, but I just remember just like we went to the movies one time on shrooms. We went to go see Shark Tale in the movie theater. On shrooms, and it was funny because we had a couple babysitters with us, to make sure we acted, right. And it was just funny. My friend John was just like busting out laughing in the middle of the aisle, like on the slightest of funny of jokes. Yeah. And we're all just like, almost like, yo, can somebody get John, dude? We're gonna get kicked out of this place. It's like it's a bunch of kids everywhere.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. For me, I'm really spiritual with that stuff. That's why I never liked messing with man-made stuff. I didn't ever do ecstasy. I never messed with acid. I never liked any of that kind of stuff because it just seemed to me like for me it was always spiritual. Because like that's how mushrooms was for me for sure, dude. Like I feel like I had realizations on mushrooms that changed me for the rest of my life. Like how I viewed the world, the way I looked at things. Although if you look at it in the moment, you look like an idiot. I told you about the time I was parked in a backyard in a fold-up chair, and I
Yeah.
literally sat there for hours just staring
Yeah.
at the tree. And I was
No,
like,
that was me. Every
"Yeah,
single time, like it was something wrong with my chair. Like I remember this one time we went to my old roommate's. She was house sitting for her lawyer, right? And they had this like chair that was like a J shape. It was like a weird like J shape. And I just remember I was like, oh, this chair looks comfortable. And I like sat in it and I was like this, like
I couldn't get your posture right."
in this chair like this, like dang, dude, I thought this chair was comfortable. I was like, oh my God, it's so uncomfortable. And like I was legit stuck in the chair. Like I couldn't get out. And my thoughts was like I couldn't get out of this chair unless somebody switched with me. And so I was like, no, dude, come sit down. Come check this chair out. Dude, come switch chairs with me, man. Just sit. And everyone was like, dude, just stand up. I was like, no, somebody's got to switch with me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it's not gonna work, bro. I can't just get up. You gotta take my spot.
yeah.
You're gonna fuck up the universe, dude. Yeah, it is crazy though. But I always think about what Joe Rogan says when he talks about like, because he's a big DMT guy, which I've never tried. But he talks about like that idea of you question that stuff feels so real. Like on shrooms connecting to a tree, which sounds crazy when you're in a sober state of mind. But in that moment, you feel like you're seeing right into the heart of the universe. And you're like, dude, all the shit we walk around thinking is real is not real. This shit is real.
Yeah.
But you have no way to know. You have no way to know if maybe, because people who don't do drugs or have never messed with anything like that, they stand back and just go, yeah, bro, do you hear yourself right now? Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. You saw into the universe sitting in a lawn chair staring at a fucking palm tree in California. Of course. Of course, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Jesus.
So it sounds ridiculous when you tell people, but there's something that no one can change about the way it makes you feel. Like when and the thing about mushrooms too is it's not they're not addictive in my opinion at all.
No.
You don't feel like, oh, I got to do that again. You're like, nah, I'm going to wait a little while on that. Like
Yeah.
you go pretty deep. But there's research on psilocybin for sure, where it shows that it's like the most effective method that's ever come out for getting people to stop smoking.
Yeah.
Is like but the thing is you have to couple it, right? There's a difference between just doing mushrooms, going to watch.
Yeah. It's like pill form though. That's what they use for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And they also do it in combination with therapy.
Yeah.
So you have like, that's what I love now, because back in the day, like we were talking about in the 70s when shit was all messed up, and like there was no such thing as a doctor you could go to and get therapy while you did psilocybin. But now we have stuff like that because the science comes out and it shows, and that's literally true. Anybody can Google that and check me on that, but I'm 99.9% sure the most effective way to quit smoking so far shown scientifically is through a combination of psilocybin and therapy treatment. So you do those things together, but you got to have a trained professional. And so it's almost like a modern shaman, Why he Googles it. He's like, it turns out it's totally false. You're making shit up. But yeah, so I'm a fan of natural stuff. I would never mess with anything fake. I always wondered about acid because people say great things about it too. Spiritual people I follow spiritually, like spiritual leaders and stuff that, talk about drugs. And a lot of them do mention that, acid is one of those great windows into the universe as well. But I just don't trust shit that people make. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think like a long time ago, like I read this before in an article that the MDMA ecstasy was used as a prescribed drug through therapists, through psychologists, through marriage counselors to help with marriages.
Is this back in the day?
Yeah, like the 70s.
Really?
Yeah, so that was like one of them that they use that for. Just they were able to prescribe it.
Well, there's like been a real concerted effort, right, to stop that stuff. That's what happened with all that stuff, and like with marijuana and all that back in the day, and reefer madness. And there's like these pushes because that's the thing that, anybody who's got power and people who are, running countries and running, global economic systems, they don't really want people having those experiences and like being opened, you know what I mean? They really don't. And it's not so much like, that they just vilify it and they make it all these things that it's really not. Like there's never been a better
Reefer madness.
Yeah, it's the best example ever where you're like, oh, bro. Like in 2021, that shit is so hilarious. But back in the day, and still to this day, especially, older guys or people or gals, people who are older, that like lived through that time and through those scares, it forever sticks with them. Like they just have this idea. That's where the term like devil's lettuce comes from,
That's what Fran uses. That's what he says. The devil's lettuce. I was like, what?
Yeah.
The wacky tobacco.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. But as I get older, I'm not as interested in always messing around with that stuff. I don't know how you feel about that. Yeah, I'm not.
Like I said, I had that was in your 20s, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It was just about it. And like I said, watching those brain scans and stuff like that, I remember just doing that. And that's, back when we were 20s, that's when the internet was, kind of just coming, up, and you can actually like look for things. Like I was using Lycos to search things.
Oh my God, dude. You're taking me back right now.
But yeah, there was a time where it was like, I remember like for my birthday, for example, I think it was my 22nd birthday, and had a big old party at our house and a couple kegs, had a scavenger hunt, throughout the whole city. It was wild. We got home and started drinking, and, we're drinking beers and wines and jungle juice. And then, a friend came in and they were like, happy birthday. And it was like, here's some ecstasy. And it was like, oh, okay. It's like triple stack, and I took it, it's 3 pills. It's triple stack.
So it's like a lot.
Yeah. And so I was like, it's like, okay. And then I just remember like an hour later, just hanging out, we're having a good time, and, playing cards, spades, Unos, whatever. And all of a sudden, the person comes back and was like, are you feeling anything yet? And I'm like, actually, I'm not. I don't think I am feeling anything, because, you're buzzed at the same time too, which is, again, you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to drink.
Yeah, I've heard that. Right.
And so, the person was like, I have another triple stack. You want to take another one? I was like, all right. So now by this time I had 6.
Oh my God.
Within, a couple hours. And I just remember like all of a sudden just hit me, just boom. And I was just like, damn, dude, like,
wow.
I feel good. I feel real good. And I just remember like, people were like, happy birthday. And they're like, you touch your back and everything like that. And you were just like,
yeah, that's what everybody's saying.
You're just like, so, it just felt like they were like massaging into you, and like just like the slightest feel, and you're just like, dude, oh my God. And like the girl I was dating at the time, I remember she's like massaging my back, dude. It just felt like her fingers were in there.
Yeah, like relieving all the tension and knots.
And I was just like, oh my God. Wow. And then later on, the person came back and was like, I have another double. Do you want to split a double? And it was like hours later. And I was like, nah, sure. Why not?
God.
So 7 in one night, dude. And that was the last time, because I was up for like 24 hours, like legit, like awake.
Does it keep you
24
so
hours?
You can't sleep on it?
Yeah, dude, you're awake. Dude.
Okay. And I remember that because that same time I was talking about where I almost did it, I hung out all night with them, and that's how they were. They were up all damn night, dude. I ended up having to drink coffee just to hang out with them. I was like dozing off.
Which is another drug dollar.
Yeah, well, it was to counter the weed, so.
Yeah, and I remember like a day or two later, just like I was like, oh, what are the effects of oh no, nope, done.
Yeah, and you just stopped. Yeah, that's another thing about your personality. You definitely don't have an addictive personality anyway. People do get addicted to that though, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is it chemically addictive? I wonder if it's more.
I think
just
so.
like
Yeah, because it's man-made. Yeah, because it's a man-made thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime with stuff like that. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Marijuana can for sure be a psychedelic drug, dude, if you do it in a high enough dose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never forget my 19th birthday, dude. Like that was when Dominic made brownies.
Brownies. Yeah.
I'd never had them before. So we ate like a whole damn pan. We're all pissed off because nothing was happening. And it was my birthday, actually. It's always a birthday party.
Yep.
This was about this time of year, probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something. Yeah. And it was, dude, I was in another universe. I was like, I've told these before, but I always remember looking at Tori Spelling. That's how long ago this was. My mom was watching, it was either 90210 or one of those spin-offs of
Yeah.
90210.
We're probably, yeah.
And dude, I was falling off the couch and my mom didn't know I had the brownies. And so she was like, is he okay? And I was like, dude, she looks so fucking funny, mom. She looks like a frog. I'm like losing my mind. And then it just messed me up because I had to work. I was working graveyard shifts at the gas station. So I had to go and my job was to clean the store. So, I mean, I did my job perfectly. I cleaned the whole store and did everything. I was like, everything was great. But then I think I've totally told this story before. But I also remember just hitting a wall where I was exhausted by like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I just couldn't keep my eyes open. And there's like no customers coming in anymore. It's like, I'm just going to
take a little nap.
Lay down just for a minute. I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm just going to get a little more. I totally fell asleep. Woke up to this other dude who worked there, like pounding on the counter. He's like, bro, wake up. And ironically, that dude got fired for leaving weed on the counter at work. So the guy who found me. And he didn't know. I didn't even tell him. He just thought I was tired or something. I remember my heart going into my chest. Well, my heart's in my chest, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
in your throat.
In my throat. I freaked the fuck out is what I'm saying. Because I remember when he got fired because he left weed on the counter, I had come in for a shift the next morning and I was there and I was like all out of it, because I was working swing shifts, graveyard shifts, morning shifts. I was all over the place. And that morning I had to come at 5 a.m. So my brain was just like totally scrambled. And I came in and we're like in the booth and I'm like counting money and stuff and doing deposits. And then I'm standing there and my boss goes, "What is that?" And she points to the counter. I was like, I look at it, dude. And I just felt like the blood drain out of me because there was all this weed on the counter. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't bring that to work. How did I? And then it was like, calm down, dollar. That ain't your shit. Somebody left some weed on the counter. But I had that like total freak out moment where I was like, I'm about to get fired. I don't even know how that weed got there. And then it was like, yeah, no.
What is it? That one meme that I sent you a while ago, remember? When it's like nothing's more questionable than eating a whole edible after you ate, you just eat the half and you're like, should I eat this second half?
I don't remember you saying that to me, but that's right up my alley.
Did I eat that second half? I don't feel anything. And all of a sudden you eat that second half and it's like, bam. Like,
oh yeah. Or the story I told you before. Remember when I got all excited because I had edibles.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is gonna be sweet. I had to house
yeah.
myself. My kids weren't here. I was doing music at the time. And so I was looking forward to, I was writing music all the time. And so I was like, oh, this will be exciting. I'll get some inspiration. No one's gonna be here. And I remember eating the brownie and it was just one big ass brownie. I don't remember what was in it. I don't remember how many milligrams or whatever it was, like 1,000 or something. And I started and I ate like a quarter of it, I was trying to be reasonable. I'm like, that's going to be pretty powerful. I'm just going to eat like a quarter. Didn't kick in. Ate half of it. Didn't kick in. Ate another, and just going, fuck it. Just eat the whole thing. And then I ate the whole thing. And then I was pissed. I was like, man, my whole night's going by. This shit isn't kicking in. I'm supposed to be writing music by now. Screw it. And I had one of those big, overpriced $10 joints they give you. And so I like went out in the backyard and fired it up. And halfway through the joint, exact same experience you were talking about, just like a ton of bricks, bro. I was like, oh God. I immediately put the joint out. I'm like, I am in deep shit. And I proceeded to go down to the basement and sit in my chair for like 3 hours. I didn't write a note. I did not write a lyric or a note. I didn't even pick up the fucking guitar. I remember giving up and like making my way up the stairs to my bedroom. I was like, I just got to get in bed. It's the only place I can handle anything right now. And I just laid down and literally slept. It was just such a waste. You're like, man, if I had just been patient, I could have had a few different experiences like that, and actually wrote some music. But instead, if you go too deep, that shit is like a psychedelic drug, man. Like you don't know what's going on.
Well, it was like, I remember that one time too at your house when we were first starting off and we're, bouncing it back and it took, a while to do it. And then you're like, well, why don't we just like, I got the little free joint from the store. We'll just split this baseball bat. And we were like, okay. We split it. And I just remember like sitting there and I was like, damn. And I'm
And
just
dude,
watching you and like I'm over your shoulder and you're like this at the computer and you're not doing anything. You're just like with your hands like on the keyboard and you're trying to write the description.
yeah.
And I remember looking over your shoulder. I just remember looking over your shoulder and like, why are you not typing anything, dude? And then you just go like this. You go, oh my God, I'm high. And you were like, if I'm high, then you
Yeah.
are really. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, bro. I was smoking so much weed at the time. That's why I freaked out for you, because I'm like, bro, I smoke weed every day right now. Like, oh my God, I am out of my brain high. And I look at you and I'm just like, oh, Pierce, you're gonna have to hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go drive right now.
And I remember you said that. And I looked at you and I go, uh-huh.
Yeah, you immediately agreed. That was funny. God, you know what I don't miss about those days is how long it took to mix down an episode. When we finish
4 hours,
dude, it takes me 15 minutes at the most, and that's mixing down, writing the description, uploading everything. But I remember back then you'd have to sit there and just wait
4 hours. Remember, and be like,
see again how old we are. That shows you how old. And what's funny, I still have that thing, and that's another sign that I'm old, right? Because every once in a while I'm like,
you don't want to get rid of it.
well, no, the opposite. I'm like, I wonder, I could probably sell that and get a few $100 out of it. Like, nobody's buying that, bro. Nobody's buying that. Are you kidding me? Like, people can record albums on their phone now. You think they want that big ass heavy piece of equipment? Did you have to wait 4 hours to mix down an hour and a half long podcast? Like, it's not happening. It's that old in me that thinks it's still worth something. I'm sure. Like, it's not worth
Somebody
anything,
will like it.
No, it's a liability because you can't throw away that shit. You can't just toss it in your trash.
Well, it was another time too. We were talking about, I think I told you that story too, where me and Tira, we didn't have, Cali for a night.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, yo, we're going to relax, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, we went to the store and we got a joint and come back and we went in the back, patio and we started smoking it. And like, we got halfway through it. And again, because I don't smoke, neither does Tira. And we just thought, something to relax and hang out with. We don't have a kid. And we got halfway through it and we both were like, oh man. Like again, I was like, oh dude, I was like, we still got half of this left though. And I was like, oh, Tira's like, she looks at me, she's like, we can just put it out. We don't have to smoke all of it. I was like, we're gonna waste it. We gotta
You can tell you have pothead friends.
It's like, we're gonna waste it. We can't waste this. I was like,
yeah.
I just remember, dude, and I call it to this day, it's called Matrix High. It's called Matrix High because I saw my moves happening before.
Yeah.
Like, but again, it was just me being slow, and I just remember just like sitting there like, oh my God, my hand just like,
yeah.
Oh my God, look at, dude, I can see everything happening before it happens. I just remember like
People from the outside, you look like this.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing about weed, and then weed's another one of those things. People get so creative, like they have the best fucking ideas, bro. And then you just sit there and you do nothing about it. And then when you're not high anymore, you don't even remember what the idea was, but it was profound.
Yeah,
that's the funny thing with weed. I've actually cut down a lot, Pierce. I barely smoke anymore because now as I'm getting older, I feel like that shit, a lot of that stuff is kind of like an illusion, right? Like you feel like, dude, it gives me the best creativity and the best everything. And then you sit on your ass and you do nothing, you eat too much food and you don't do shit. So yeah. Funny, man. Good shit. No, that's exactly what I was hoping to get out of that conversation. Just some old memories,
Dang, maybe I should have got high before I ate all those tacos. Maybe I could have ate more.
I bet you could have for sure. That might be your strategy next time. Forget, it doesn't matter. Water, you could drink a soda with it too, bro. You could have 2 sodas. Fuck it. Just get super high.
Wait, I'm done with these 24. You want to get another set? Bring another 12.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. No, that was remarkable tonight, Pierce. I was honored to be a witness at your attempt at eating those tacos. You will do a lot in the name of entertainment. That's why I asked you to do the podcast way back. I was thinking about how long it's been, dude. I don't even know what year that was. Was it 2014 or something? When did I first ask you to do?
I think it's been like 6 years, dude, since we started this.
Yeah, time goes by so quick, dude.
I
You know
mean,
what's funny?
we're only on 122. I mean, we took a couple of breaks
Couple of
throughout
big
time.
ass breaks. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I think we're pretty smooth now. I mean, I'm pretty set in my new career. As of this summer, I'll be done with my master's degree, so I won't be taking all these extra classes.
There you
By the
go.
way, just so you know, I'm drowning right now. Um, just so you know, because here's the
Well,
thing.
it looks like my shit is together, but
It's not. No, I'm definitely not. Again, another reason I can't smoke weed all the time. So what's going on, dude, is that I knew that this semester was kind of be hell. We're going back in person at the same time. We're learning how to teach hybrid with students online, students in person in front of us, and at the same time, I've been doubled up on my master's for a while because I really want to be done this summer. And so I'm in 2 master's classes at the same time, and then on top of that, I've also got we just got notifications, dude, that I guess a lot of us that started teaching last year, there's 2 years and you have to complete all these courses. But I completed a whole bunch right at the beginning and then just
yeah.
kind of didn't think about it. And now all of a sudden I got this email. It was like, oh, you have some outstanding materials. You should, some courses you need to take. You should go take a look and get yourself all registered. And I looked, bro, I have to take 3 and they have to be done by May 1st. So now I'm in basically in 5 classes at the same time and teaching and doing all this stuff. And then, the worst part about it is one of the classes I'm taking in my master's, I'm in right now for it's called for teaching multilingual learners.
Uh-huh.
And that class actually would transfer and replace one of those DPS classes. So I wouldn't have to take it, except that class will be done at the end of May.
Oh.
And have to be done by May 1st. So I'm literally taking 2 of the same class basically at the same time with different
Nope.
teachers.
Don't plagiarize, dollar. No plagiarizing.
No, you can't. No, of course not. No, for sure. And they're different. They're different enough. The DPS ones are a little bit easier, I think, for sure. But man, I'm up shit creek. And everybody's like, what do you want to do for your birthday this weekend? I'm like, bro, I'm studying all
Yeah,
weekend. I'm writing lesson plans.
they go, what do you want to do for your birthday? Somebody can do my homework.
Yeah.
Somebody want to do some of my work for me?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'll be so happy. But bringing it back, that's kind of what was my point with the podcast. Is it's taken me a while to get all this figured out. But once this semester's over, then when I hit summer, I literally only have 1 master's class left, and then I'm free. And then all I'm going to be doing is teaching, and that's going to be so much easier. So no more breaks is what I'm.
And hopefully by summer, things will be a little bit more open, with vaccines and COVID and stuff like that. Oh, speaking of that, by the way, so like I told you, I had my physical today.
Yes.
So the doctor was telling me, he's like, did you, I asked him, I was like, hey, I signed up for the vaccine, because of my job and this and that. And he goes, oh, yeah, look, we can see where you're at in the queue for the vaccine. I was like, oh, sweet, cool. And so he was looking, he goes, oh yeah, you are qualified for the phase 1A, 1B. And I was like, oh shit, okay.
Nice.
I was like, that's cool, dude. And so he goes, yeah, looks like you are 12,567th. That's all. What?
You know what that reminds me of? You ever seen Beetlejuice? Of course,
yeah.
Beetlejuice, where he hands him his number and it's like
Yeah.
a long fucking piece of paper.
But when he said that shit, dollar, I was like, the look on my face, I was like, what?
Oh, damn.
He's like, yeah, 12,567th.
Oh my
like, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it when everybody else gets it, is what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Myra was gonna be like that too. Dude, that's speaking of which, I can't believe I even forgot. I got the first shot.
Today?
Yesterday.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. I was laughing because anybody who's got it that I know, they talk about how painful their arm is and stuff. And I always laugh and kind of talk shit, because I've got a million vaccines, flu, all that. It never does shit to me. Like I get a little bump, that's it. Boy, this shit fucked me up, bro. Like even lifting my arm is like so hard. Yeah. And then I'm running like a slight high grade temperature. It's not technically a fever because I'm not over 100, but it's like 99.8 or something like that. And then it's like the hot behind the eyes. So I'm like feeling it. Every time I've ever taken a flu vaccine, I've never felt shit, dude. It's never had any effect on me, but it's legit. And so I got the first shot and then I'll get the other one March 4th or something like that.
Well, it's the same thing. Like, so I got the tetanus shot today, like I was saying. So the tetanus is the one that's sore too, right?
Yes.
So I'm sitting here today while I was working. I was just sitting here like the gun on, like
Does that help?
massaging
I feel
my
like that
arm.
would make it hurt more.
I mean, spreads it around, to kind of do
Oh,
it. But
right.
I was sitting here like with the gun, and people are like, I'm on like the Zoom calls, through meetings, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, massaging my arm.
Yeah. Yeah, the tetanus one hurts for sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And which one did I get? I already forgot. It's the Moderna
Moderna.
with AstraZeneca, right? They like
Yeah.
partnered up for it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the one that I think is 94.5%. But at the same time, so I was all excited to get it, right? But then, you're not really fully immune, obviously, after the first one. Then
Yeah.
you got to get the second one, and then a few weeks after that is really when you reach
Yeah.
your maximum
Yep.
potential. And then today, it was announced again, somebody else got COVID where I work. And then, yeah, and then on top of that, I had a couple of students today that were like sniffling hard. And I
Oh,
was like,
dude.
bro, I'm like, stand back as far as I can. And I'm like, hey, are you feeling okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine, mister. I'm like, are you sure you're okay? Because
Well, Fran was mentioning the Johnson and Johnson one again to me. He goes, "Bro, the Johnson and Johnson one is going to be the one shot. It's going to be the one shotter." I was like, "Yo, that thing is like 66% right now." How we were discussing last time. I was like, "That's like the D of vaccines." Nah.
it's only one shot, but it's half as effective, bro. So don't mess with that.
Technically, you need two shots.
Yeah. Yeah, we just double up, bro. We just do two of them.
It's 132%.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. So we'll see. So if I keel over anything, Pierce, then stay away from it. Don't be 12,000th. Don't do it at all. No, I think it's fine, but I am curious. I do think about like that's so weird how sore my arm is. Like it's worse than even the tetanus one because like it literally hurts to lift my arm. And I was making fun of my because she got it too, by the way, before me. And so because she was going to be way later, but she got hers now. And she was telling me she didn't work out that day. She's like, "Oh, I can't work out." And I was like, come on, you can't work out because you got a shot in the arm. And I remember teasing Jade about the same thing. He got a flu shot one time. I was like,
yeah,
push-ups today. I was like, oh, come on, shut up. But literally, dude, if I wasn't gonna work out today, but if I was gonna work out today, I literally wouldn't be able to. Like my arm is so jacked. It's kind of weird. And there's like a big knot in my arm. Like
well, that's the other thing too with the misconception about the vaccine, is people is like it's a federal mandated vaccine. So you don't have to go to your care provider for it because everyone can give it out. So, if you're, Kaiser, then you can go to UC Health and sign up for it or this and that, it doesn't. So you can sign up at multiple. And that's what my doctor was telling me. He was like, you can sign up at multiple places, and see if you can get in faster than here or, so on and so forth. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't want to put in that much effort, but
but it sounds like you're pretty solid on getting it now.
Yeah.
A few weeks back, you were kind of still like, I don't know, but it's like you said, you waited. So now a lot of people have had it.
Yeah,
because literally more people have it. We passed that mark like last week, I think, where it was like more people have it than COVID cases.
Yeah, and there's no mutations yet, so
yeah.
Nobody's walking around with extra eyeballs or arms, and so we're good.
Yeah, amazing technology. Trick your body into thinking you have some shit, so that it reacts, right? And like I literally am feeling it. I'm like, oh man, I feel a little, like a little. My eyes are hot, and that's why I told Myra. I said I almost feel like a slight fever or something. And I was like, I doubt it. There's probably not. And so she took my temperature. And she's like, actually, yeah, you're running a little hot. It's not a fever. I think to be a fever, it has to be like over 100 or 100.1 or something. 101, I think, is where they draw the fever line. So I don't have a fever, but I have what's called like an elevated temperature or whatever. But it's real. I can feel it. But they say that's a really good sign because then that means my immune system's kicked up and it thinks I've got something. And so it's like it's getting all the soldiers ready. So
man, it's so good. I was at the doctor's today. And I was waiting in the waiting area, right? And they have like different sections for you to wait in. They're like here for wellness, here for flu shots, here for COVID and flu symptoms. Yeah. And I just remember there was a guy who was like sitting kind of like across me, like probably like 10 feet across from me. And they're like, he's like, Mr. So-and-so. And they're like, Mr. So-and-so for the COVID test. And I was like, this dude is sitting right. He should be over there. Was he? He should be over there. That's his area is over there. Not right here. This is wellness. This is physical.
Yeah, we're all good over here.
Yeah.
Mess it up.
It's like this man doesn't read. He's over here in the wellness.
Yeah, that's so much of what it comes down to for me is like I just don't trust people. Like people who are sick. Like when those students today that were like, "Oh no, I'm totally fine." I'm like, "Okay, I'm staying at least. They say 6 feet. I'm going with 18. We're gonna stay with 18. I'm not even playing. Like I don't even want to mess around. And of course, I got a mask and everything too. But you know what I found myself doing was I was second guessing my goggle choice. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't even wear glasses, you know. And then I was thinking about like maybe I should put those on. Like, just it's terrifying, you know, when you have a paranoid mind like mine naturally.
Yeah.
You start thinking about all those little possibilities and. And I am real sick of hand sanitizer. I bet we all are. That shit is the worst. If for getting rid of all the bacteria and protecting you from viruses, makes your hands feel nastier than anything else.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, well, there are some hand sanitizers that are like slimy.
Yeah.
And that always makes me mad because that's the one hand sanitizer that you glop and then you're like this, and you're like, oh no, it's the wrong one, and you have so much of it. You're like, no, and it's just like, ugh. Like,
right, you think it's the more liquidy one. So
yeah,
a big old amount, thinking it's
yep.
dry up really quickly, and then you just got this glob of like gelatin in your hand.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah.
Unreal, man. Well, shit, Pierce. It's I think it's getting about that time here. We're right at the hour and a half mark.
Yeah, dude.
We're finding our groove right around that time usually.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
my stomach's not bad. I'm all right.
You're all right. Yeah.
Probably at 3 a.m. is probably when I'm going to shit myself. So
I hope not. I hope your stomach's okay, dude. That's so that's brutal. Yeah, hopefully we don't get any feedback. I'm literally sitting here thinking like what we were talking about at the beginning. Like, did I really have to go off on all that shit? Damn it, dollar. But that's what makes our podcast what it is, bro. It's authentic, It's real, it's truthful. It's just two dudes talking shit. It's what we do. But I think we're out of shit to talk about right now.
So I think, dollar, with that, that's a wrap. Cheers.
Cheers.